Exposure to dioxins can negatively impact your thyroid function. I'm Sara Banta with Accelerated Health TV and radio show. And according to a new study presented last Thursday at the Endocrine Society's annual meeting in Chicago, this is what they concluded. Dioxins are highly toxic compounds that are primarily produced by industrial processes, and their persistence in the environment makes them a significant public health concern on top of everything else we're being bombarded with. They are produced through a variety of incineration processes, including improper municipal waste incineration and burning of trash. They can be released into the air during natural processes such as forest fires and volcanoes. Strict regulatory controls on major industrial sources of dioxin have greatly reduced the emissions into the air. However, today people's exposure to these dioxins primarily are eating food, in particular the conventionally raised animal products contaminated by these chemicals. And this is why it's so important to know where your food's coming from. Dioxins are absorbed and stored in fat tissues because you remember your body wants to save itself, right? So the fat cells are purposely encapsulating any toxins to get it out of the blood. So more than 90% of human exposure is through food, according to the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences. So recently, scientists have begun to study the potential impact of exposure to these environmental chemicals, such as dioxins, on the thyroid function. The thyroid dysfunction affects a significant portion of the population, more than, in my belief, 9 out of 10 people, especially after the last 3 years and what's been going on. So this is something that you really need to be taking note of. And how is your energy? How's your weight gain? How is your brain fog? All of that is controlled by your thyroid. So a total of 20 dioxins and levels of thyroid stimulating hormone, also known as TSH, were measured, and the researchers found that the dioxins were significantly associated with a high TSH. Now, a high TSH, that indicates that the thyroid gland is not making enough thyroid hormone. However, that doesn't tell you the whole story. The TSH signals to the thyroid to release T4, which stands for tyrosine and 4 molecules of iodine. All TSH is telling you is how well your pituitary hormone is communicating with your thyroid. Total T4 can look normal on a blood test, but it isn't able to be utilized by the thyroid, as T4 needs to be activated and turned into T3. So that T3 is what we're focused on. The T3 is the thyroid hormone that produces energy and indicates a healthy metabolism and thyroid. Okay, so signs of a thyroid issue: low energy, hair loss, your eyebrows are thinning on the outside, irregular menstrual cycles, anxiety and depression, weight gain, constipation, dry skin, headaches, brittle nails and rigid nails, fluid retention, which is also part of the issue with the spike protein that I've talked about. Cold intolerance, so you get cold very easy. You have a puffy face, swollen eyelids, poor circulation, thickening of the elbow skin, poor concentration and memory, decreased libido, and numbness. So how does the liver affect your thyroid metabolism? I want to just touch on this really quick. If your liver is compromised or your gut isn't healthy, and that's also why we need to heal our gut, then the T4 won't be converted into T3. Free T3 is what binds to the nucleus of the cell and is what is necessary to produce that awesome ATP, which is your true cellular energy for all of your cells. On the contrary, reverse T3 is an inflammatory sympathetic marker. So that's when you go into stress mode, you turn that T4 into reverse T3, slows down the metabolism, puts you into survival mode, and helps you hold on to that fat in case you are going to face a famine. So that's why the liver is also so important. So how do we protect ourselves from the exposure to these dioxins and optimize our thyroid function? 3 things. Number 1, acceleridine iodine. This is the only iodine supplement that has 100% absorption. Most iodines only have 10 to 20%, and that includes toxic ingredients as well, where the acceleridine has all radiation-free, toxin-free iodine, and it is used for the production of the T4 and T3. It kicks out the toxins from the thyroid and from all 100 trillion cells, including the dioxins, and it helps with the liver that and the functioning of the liver to help produce those right active thyroid hormones. This is essential for those with Hashimoto's, hyperthyroidism, and hypothyroidism. And like I said, I believe, this is my belief, that 9 out of 10 of you are suffering from some sort of suboptimal thyroid. And it's not just these dioxins, it's the heavy metals, it's the fluoride, the chlorine, the bromide that's in our food supply, in our meats, in our dairy, in our processed foods, and it's in our environment. It's in the radiation that's all affecting our thyroid and our metabolism. So the acceleridine is also charged with scalar frequencies to further detox the body of the radiation and heavy metals. No other iodine supplement incorporates these scalar healing frequencies. With the acceleridine, you add in the accelerated thyroid, which is essentially 3 formulas in one. Now, the accelerated thyroid has been bioenergetically enhanced with our proprietary scalar frequencies as well. And these frequencies are patterned to enhance the general healing of the thyroid, neutralize the toxins found in the thyroid, neutralize the radiation and the nuclear fallout that is affecting the thyroid. The halogen chemicals and the chemicals like the dioxins are very common in our supply, and they actually look for those receptor sites that are needing the iodine. They look the same, so they go to the same receptor site. So if you don't have enough iodine, that your body's not bathed in the iodine it needs, then those other halogens and other toxins are going to fill those receptor sites, causing a high TSH or a low T4, low T3, and low thyroid function, leading to a slower metabolism. Then what we add into this formula is a small amount of thyroid glandular, and we've noticed that most people need a little bit more of that thyroid glandular to keep the thyroid and metabolism working. And this does not have the T3 and T4 in it. It has the peptides and the nutrients that the thyroid needs to support thyroid function. So it's not going to turn off your thyroid like some of the medications you might be taking will do so. We then add in L-tyrosine. That is one of the 20 amino acids that the body uses to make proteins and hormones, and it's especially needed for the thyroid. Remember, T4 and T3, that T stands for tyrosine. So it's really important. It also is important to fight depression and other common symptoms of underactive thyroid. Lastly, you gotta love your liver. Like I mentioned, if your liver's not functioning, then the thyroid hormones have a hard time doing what they're doing. So it's an integral part of your detoxification pathways and detoxing from things like the dioxins. When you incorporate the liver flush with the accelerated thyroid and the acceleridine iodine, your metabolism increases, your thyroid functions optimally, and the toxins aren't able to absorb in any of the 100 trillion cells of your body. It's important to, of course, focus on the whole organic foods, the grass-fed, finished wild animal meats, bison, elk, deer, wild salmon, all of those delicious meats. You can find my link for North Star Bison and use my coupon there. It's a great place to find your good meats. These meats will have minimal exposure to these toxins, unlike the conventionally raised chicken, beef, and other poultry. In our dirty world, it's impossible to eliminate all the exposures to these toxins. That's why you have to do as much as you can, and then take the supplements to detox your body properly for optimal function. Your thyroid is your master endocrine gland. When it doesn't function properly, everything starts to fall apart. The wheels come off. So hopefully this helped. Hopefully you learned something. Have you heard of dioxins before? How is your energy and how is your thyroid functioning? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Thanks for joining me today. And if I can help you with your health issues, contact me directly through the website, SaraBantaHealth.com. Happy to put together a protocol for you, and join the free group coaching with the Telegram link below. There's no downside. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health, and you will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey, in addition to truly taking control of your health. Make sure you're also following me on Facebook and Instagram under Accelerated Health Products, and you can find this episode and all of my podcasts on over 100 channels under Accelerated Health TV and radio show. My goal is to reach everyone on earth with eyes to see and ears to hear my message of healing. So help me with that goal and share this podcast with a few of my friends. Thanks again for joining me, and have a great week.